Konnichiwa, and welcome to Tsuki no Ame, where we try Japanese sweets and treats. Today we have 3 treats to try from Sakura Co. So the first, this is the Mochi Monaka cake, and so Monaka is actually a traditional delicacy. It is a, okay, you can probably tell the one we received is actually broken. It just happens in shipping, but it is a very delicate wafer with a filling inside. In this case, it is a mix of mochi and red bean paste, which should be really good, should be super sweet. Long-time viewers are probably aware red bean paste tends to be extremely sweet. We are also doing, so this is the Tokyo Skytree baked chocolate, which is going to be interesting. I'm kind of curious to see how this turns out, because normally when you get a sandwiched cookie, they bake the cookie and then they fill it, with chocolate or whatnot, and, all is good. In this case, though, they did the sandwiching back when the cookie was still dough and baked it with the filling inside. So this is going to be interesting to see how they did that exactly, because I'm looking at the picture and it is showing, like, you can apparently see the chocolate from the side. I'm really curious to see how this turned out. There are a bunch of different ways this could have gone, and I'm not sure. Last but certainly not least, we are going to finish up with, this is the blueberry tartlet. So according to the culture guide, there is cheese in the dough, which feels a little odd. We're going to see how it turned out. And of course, a blueberry jam for the filling. I'm really excited about that. I'm a big fan of blueberry. So yeah, with all that in mind, let's get started. Itadakimasu! Alright, so starting with our Monaka, and I'm just trying to figure out the best way to open this without causing a big mess or damaging the packaging a lot, because again, as so often is the case, the packaging is really quite attractive. We have gotten some really beautifully packaged treats on this channel. I am a big old fan. Oh yeah, and you can see just on one side it got packed in a bit too tightly. But the image on it, that is so cool. So it's kind of interesting. The picture in the guidebook, which I have right in front of me, has it so that the filling is very mixed. But you can clearly see there's a layer of the mochi and the red bean. The wafer is extremely delicate. It's basically not there. All it is containing the contents and keeping it from being very sticky on my fingers, which I'm okay with. It is very, very sweet. The bean paste is really smooth, same with the mochi. It overwhelmingly tastes of the bean paste, but honestly, it is really good. It is really good. And the texture is really very smooth. This is great. I like it a lot. I hope we get more of these Monaka and we get to see like some different spins on it, because that is really good. I love when they send the more traditional stuff, just because some of these things, like the Monaka and a few other things that we've had, are really, really hard to find locally, at least for me. Some of the other stuff, it's a lot easier, but things like this are just very uniquely Japanese, and they're near impossible to get your hands on. If you have the chance to, hands down, should absolutely try it, if for nothing else but the fact that it is so very Japanese, but it is, again, really good. If you like bean paste, that is amazing. That is so good. So moving on to our Tokyo Skytree baked chocolate. So I'm thinking there are a couple different ways they could have done this. Like, they could have sliced it after the fact, like partway through baking, or maybe the chocolate isn't just straight chocolate. Okay. Yeah, it's looking like the chocolate itself is fused with some sort of dough. I don't know how well you can see it, but there is the same kind of texture and aeration in the chocolate layer that you see in the rest of it. So it does seem like it has somehow fused in with the dough somehow, which has kept it from going everywhere. But you can also tell, like, they definitely folded this. Like, they clearly made this big, huge sheet with the sandwiching of, like, the dough and the chocolate, and then sliced it, and you can see that there, which is really cool. It's interesting. So it's very soft, but it has a bit of resistance as you chew on it. It kind of it's described as having a melt in your mouth texture, and it does kind of melt as you chew on it, which is really unusual. It does have a good chocolate flavor to it, and though I will say there is a bit of waxiness in there still, which is a little surprising. But it's more of an kind of like an aftertaste effect. As you're chewing on it, you don't notice it at all. I think the cookie is a good way to kind of help counteract some of that a little bit. It is really different. I'm not sure that I've had a cookie quite like that before. I've had stuff that does some similar stuff, but I don't think quite to that degree. It's not bad. It might be worth your time. So moving on to our blueberry tartlet. And this is a really good sign. I can already smell the blueberry. I kind of messed up. It did not open quite as cleanly, so you can see, like, I could smell it with very little opening in there, which is always a good sign with Japanese fruit treats. It looks so good. It smells really good. That is really good. So the crust of the tart, it chews really well. It's definitely thicker and crispier than the Skytree cookie, but that is not hard to do with that one. It's still very soft. It still chews really nicely. But really what comes through is the blueberry jam filling. It is really strong, really good, despite being such a thin layer. It is so flavorful. It is really good. If you like blueberry, I would definitely recommend. And actually, if they have other fruits available, those are probably also really good as well. That is pretty. This is turning into one of those episodes. I like these episodes. Gochisousama. Yes, these episodes, which, to recap, we did our Mochi Monaka cake, where, I mean, the wafer really was just super thin, gave way easily to the filling, great red bean, and the mochi just really good, so amazing. We had the Tokyo Skytree baked chocolate, which, I mean, for something from Japan with chocolate, was honestly really pretty good. Had a texture I haven't really run into before. Also really tasty. We had the blueberry tartlet, which was so good. The jam really has a good punch it really carries it. That is most of what you taste, despite being such a small portion of the tartlet. This is one of those episodes where everything was honestly pretty good. I like these episodes a lot. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you like my shirt, the link for that, as always, is down in the description below. And please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Johnny.